Hey, good evening, everybody. Sunday night. Just launched No New Lessons, my very first book. Launched it December 6th, Tuesday. And to say that it's done well is, I think, an understatement. We hit #1 bestseller on Friday. We were #1 new release in 5 different categories over the weekend, starting on about Thursday. And it held that through the entire weekend. Still holding it now. We've sold right at 250 copies, and most of that is due to the hard work that you guys have put in, the launch team. You guys have been sharing it, you've been talking about it, you've been leaving excellent reviews out there. I'm super pumped that you guys love the story. I'm excited that you guys are taking away from it what I intended for you to take away from it, and that's that spirit of adventure and that never quit attitude, and the idea that many of the lessons that we learn day to day in life are not new lessons. They're lessons that we've learned time after time after time again. And if we can learn to be really conscious about that, then maybe we don't have to relearn those lessons. Maybe we can actually learn them. A buddy of mine told me one time, he said, Roscoe, life will continue to present you the opportunity to learn a lesson until you actually learn that lesson. And holy crap, is that true? And that whole book, No New Lessons, is really about that. That one statement could kind of sum the whole thing up, and how we just ran into peril and bad decisions and obstacle after obstacle and problem solving equations. And then a chance encounter when we didn't anticipate it, after we had sunk to the lowest low and against our will, we admitted defeat. We got lifted up when we needed it most, and it set us on a new path, and we were able to win in the end. So what I really wanted to do is not talk too much about No New Lessons, but I wanted to talk about how that ties into the 1 of 5 project and what I'm trying to do over there. This all interweaves together. No New Lessons wasn't necessarily written for that purpose, but when I started thinking about it, it all ties together. And what I really wanted to talk about tonight were 2 of the pillars from the 1 of 5 project. Again, they're all action verbs that start with I, and I want to talk about improve and inspire. When I talk about improve, I'm talking about improving your own personal standard. So as we go through life, it's easy to get caught in a rut, and it's easy to kind of just maintain that status quo a little bit. But I want to challenge you guys to continue to grow. There's in psychology, there's 2 different mindsets really, and it's either a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. The guys who are on a fixed mindset, they tend to be the rapid performers, the guys who are just naturally good at things, and they're going to rock it up to a certain level, probably a high level, because especially if they're motivated. We see this all the time training new fighter pilots. But they get to a point where they just kind of plateau. It's almost like, well, this is good enough, and they just kind of maintain right there. Well, the guys who have that growth mindset, they're probably not the strongest swimmers. They're probably guys that are a little more challenged, and they have to work a lot harder to get up to that level. And you see these growth curves, if you put them down on a graph and you see these growth curves, one goes up really fast and then plateaus. The other one is just a steady line going up and to the right. And they both meet up at about the same point at the end of the course, where the 2 different guys, the 2 different new fighter pilots, are at about the same level by the time they graduate, about 6 to 9 months down the road. But the difference is, in the next year, the guys who have that fixed mindset are going to kind of stay where they're at, while the guys with the growth mindset, who have built the habit of learning and studying and hustling and grinding to get to where they're at, they're going to continue to go up. And those are the guys that we routinely see excel year after year after year. And it usually happens about a year or 2 after they graduate our basic course here. We really see those guys, the hustlers and the grinders, are the ones that take off and end up going to weapons school and become the 1% and the elite of the elite. So when I talk about improving your personal standard, I challenge you to get out of that fixed mindset and that stagnant rut that you may be in, and develop a growth mindset. Keep learning, watch YouTube videos, read a book, Um, get into something that challenges your brain just a little bit. Get that mind, body, soul back in balance. Start walking around your neighborhood. I found that I was listening to books on Audible and I wanted more time to listen to these books. So I started going for long walks in the evening. Well, that helped with all of it. It interweaved my mind, body, soul balance, started getting me back in shape. My knees started feeling better. My back started feeling better. Oh, by the way, I'm listening to a great book on Audible, and that's challenging my brain to remember some of these things and the entertaining stories, and then maybe go back and research a little bit of the things that I had questions on. So I challenge you guys to get away from the fixed mindset, get into the growth mindset, and improve your personal standard. The second pillar is inspire. By doing the things that I just talked about, improving your personal standard, after a little while, people will notice. And really in that inspirational, when you get into that inspirational mode, that's where you kind of get into this never quit kind of attitude. You just become persistent because you're always trying to make yourself better. And you know that the people around you are picking up on that. And winning is contagious. Once you start winning, you like the feeling of it. It feels great. I just had this conversation with my kid this weekend. He went out and crushed his PT test to try to get to the Air Force Academy. He did very, very well on it. And we were in the truck on the way home, and we were talking about how good it feels to knock down that domino, and really not even just knock down the domino. I'm talking about kick that sucker across the room, like crush it. And when you crush something like that and you just get win after win after win, it feels really good, and it makes you want to win more. It makes you excited to put in that hard work because you know that that feeling of getting to that mountaintop is going to be worth it in the end. So that brings me back to No New Lessons. No New Lessons is a story really of perseverance and the battle of wills and having that never quit attitude. And I'm not going to lie, when we were sitting on that riverbank staring at that Teclanica River, we knew we pushed ourselves right up to the point, no exaggeration, of almost death. We pushed ourselves as hard and as far as we could without literally going down a river and ending up in Russia. So we had to admit defeat, and that stung. It stung hard. And we were sitting there on those logs, watching that campfire, and we were depressed because we had set a goal, and you guys may or may not know this, but that fighter pilot mindset, that willingness and that yearning to be better and compete and win, it really drug us down, that we had to admit defeat in that moment. But that chance encounter, when we least expected it, we had somebody come along and inspired us to get moving, got us across that river, helped us across that obstacle, and we were able to continue on our journey. And that's really how these two projects, the No New Lessons and the 1 of 5, that's where they blend. The 1 of 5 project, we want to inspire people. We want to be that chance encounter. We want you to look at what we're doing over here at the 1 of 5 project and be inspired to get past the obstacle that you're facing, whether it's you lost your job or you don't have enough money saved up for something, or you're in a bad relationship. Maybe your spouse or your significant other is not holding up his end of the emotional and relational bank account there. We want to help you through those things. If you are having trouble with setting goals or getting out of your own personal rut, regardless of what it is, go to the1of5project.com, give me an email, let's talk about it, and let's see if we can help each other get past whatever it is you're facing. Everybody needs a coach. I have 2 or 3 coaches. Everybody needs somebody to be that person to help them get over a hurdle, or just keep trying to be a better version of yourself every day, to help hold you accountable, to help keeping you wanting to win. And that's really what we want to do here. We just want everybody to win, because winning's fun. If I had a goal, it would be just to win and win hard. I don't know if that's really fits the SMART mantra for goal setting, but it's a fun one nonetheless. And I can tell you from personal experience that winning is a good thing. Winning feels good. Winning looks good. Makes you feel better. Makes you work harder because you want to win again. So do 2 things for me. 1, go out and take a look at No New Lessons. If you haven't already, go check it out. It's on Amazon. You can Google it. You can look for it. I'll drop the link in here in just a minute. But go check it out and enjoy the adventure story of three guys that are faced with nearly impassable obstacles all along the way, and we somehow found a way to win. And it wasn't easy, but winning is simple. And once you understand that winning process, you can repeat it over and over and over again. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to go over to the 1 to 5 Project. Either go to Facebook, hit the link, or Google it. It comes up as 1of5project.com, and read through some of the things that we're teaching over there. If you're interested, give me a call. I'd be happy to coach you through whatever it is that you're facing, whatever obstacle you're facing. If you need to set some goals, just talk about some stuff, or hell, if you just need to get some stuff off your chest, give me a shout. I look forward to hearing from you. It's a big weekend for the 1 to 5 Project. No new lessons. We crushed it. You crushed it. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.